But lads, with 3 stinkers, as we've all decided unanimously, being given to us, you might think, oh well, that's alright, it's just a bun month. But then it turns out, PlayStation come out and been like, yeah, we're giving you some stinkers, and we're going to take more money from you too. What a shock from PlayStation. So it's been announced they're actually going to increase the price of Essential, Extra, and Premium, which prior to this month, I wouldn't have had an issue with. But this month makes you feel a bit bad about it. But the prices are increasing, and this is how much by. So Essential for a year will cost you $79.99 USD, 71.99 euros, 59.99 GBP, or 6,800 yen. The extra yearly subscription will cost you 134.99 USD, 125.99 euro, 99.99 GBP, or 11,700 yen. And the premium, the big boy subscription, will cost you 159.99 USD, 151.99 euros, 119.99 GBP, or 13,900 yen. Boys, let's discuss this just a little bit. It is a bit of an increase, but we have, well, Davey, you and I have raved about the service for a very long time. Phil, you've been quite negative on this. I think we would have a great discussion about this price increase. Do you think the service is still worth it? And do you think the best option out of the 3 might have changed due to this price increase? What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
So I think now it's a little bit of a difficult pill to swallow for people who are just going in for the essential tier. Now, 60 quid, I'm going to do this all in pounds, so it's going up from 49.99 to 59.99. I think if you have essential solely just so you can play online and for the cloud saves, it's a stinger. 10 quid a year, is it that much of a major impact on your life? No. I think my price of my food shop at the moment has gone up through the fucking roof. So if it's 10 quid extra for this kind of service, it's not actually that bad in the grand scheme of it, right? For what you actually get included with this, three games a month included in there. All you need to have is 1 game to hit, and it pays itself off. That's all you really need in that essential tier. The issue this year, and what you mentioned last, and what you just mentioned there, Spence, in terms of haven't really played an essential game in a while, I'm in the same boat. 2023 has been too mental to actually keep up with the essential games that we're having. And that's not a fault of the service. That's just gaming in a nutshell right now. There's too much choice. There's too much coming out that's brand new that you need to be in on the conversation for. And so I haven't had the chance to really dive into the essential library. Whereas like last year, there was droughts. There was periods of time where I could say like, oh yeah, do you know what? I'm going to check out extra. I'm going to use essential. I'm going to play this game or that game or dabble in this. That hasn't really happened this year. I think if you're an essential player and you weren't even interested in the games, you just had it to play with the boys, it's going to be a bit of a stinger, but in reality, 10 quid's nothing. If anyone's worried about 10 quid over a year, you got bigger fish to fry. Look at your gas bill. That's the real killer, right? 10 quid ain't really that big of a deal for me. But I think when you're looking at extra and premium, and you mentioned about how they have changed, going from $83.99 to $99.99 for extra, ooh, it's a bit of a jump. And going from $99 to $119.99 for premium, that's a sting. That's a real sting. Now, I've been premium since it launched. And mainly I had it so that I could take advantage of the game trials and the promise of the PlayStation Classic catalog. Now, we're 2 years into this service, I believe. And so far out of the Classic catalog, I'm not impressed. I'm really not impressed. They haven't put any of the games on there that I desperately want on Classics. Nothing really of any substance. The odd game that comes up here and now, like especially with the PSP ports of games that they've done, or the PS2 ports where they play natively, you can download them. They got trophy support, really cool. It's just not what I want. Really, ultimately, what I want is PS3 games included in that are downloadable. And we're still at the point where that's not the case. They're streamed. And I don't really want to play, Infamous streamed. My internet's shit. If I could download it, premium would be the tier I would go to. Whereas now I'm thinking when mine renews in April, I'm probably just going to go for extra. because Extra gives me everything I need. And the game catalog that you get included in that from PS4 and PS5 games is more than enough. And we already know with the likes of Stray going direct into the service, Sea of Stars going straight in right now, Extra is the tier where you get those games that are even in the conversation right there and then. So for me, I think that's the smart play next year, is to go to that. But just remember, audience, if you are thinking of renewing your PlayStation Plus subscription, do not do it through PlayStation directly. They've got a sale on right now with 25% off. Even with that, it's not very good. Go on to somewhere like Shop2 or on CD Keys, anywhere like that. Buy the credit. Buy £100 credit, cost you 80 quid. Good to go. And you could just buy it that way and get top cash back on top. It's the easiest way to do it. You end up cutting a huge chunk off the price every year you renew, and then it's even more value for money. So don't do it direct through Sony. Save yourself a couple of pounds.
Nice. Big old monologue and a bit of advice for the listeners and watchers. I will add slight correction. It's not been 2 years. The service came out last June. So it's been a bit over a year.
Oh, I must have paid then when it came out and then just paid again in my April when it renewed then. That's probably what it feels like.
What it was is you could pay for the rest of your subscription when we had Essential. So that's what you would have done, because I did the same thing. Because I paid like 15 quid to make the rest of my subscription premium because I only had a few weeks left. So it's something like that. Yeah, but big old monologue and a bit of advice. Phil, mate, I imagine your thoughts on this differ quite a lot, but ultimately probably the same, but we'll find out. Phil, mate, what are your thoughts?
Well, Spence, I'm glad you asked, and ultimately I don't really have a lot to say on this subject. I still have no choice. If I want to play online with the boys, I still have to shell out some of my hard-earned money and pay Sony the big bucks. Yes, you're right, it is from £50 to roughly £60, and everything's going up at the moment, so I'm not surprised that we're seeing a price hike from Sony themselves as well. Everything is. Everything you look at is just getting more expensive. We're getting shafted lately, and unfortunately Sony has just jumped on the bandwagon and thought, why not? Let's boost the price. The service is staying exactly the same. We're not getting anything better, especially at the essential level. I'm getting nothing more, but I'm paying an extra £10. Yes, and I know, Davey, you said £10 shouldn't matter to people, but I think it does, because it mounts up over everything else that we're getting shafted for at the moment in this country, and I suppose across the world. So it's a bitter pill to swallow, but unfortunately I'm going to have to take it. Much like those urinal tablets that we talked about earlier. I'm just going to have to bite down and suffer the consequences.
Damn straight. Well, I mean, I'll be the one biting, but yeah. Damn. Completely agree. Do completely agree. My take on this whole thing, it is only, well, depending on the subscription, I think it is a small increase considering it's over a whole year and the service is really good. We do get a lot, and it's still, even now, still with this price hike, I believe it still works out cheaper than Xbox's subscription, because Xbox don't do yearly passes. You have to pay month on month. So it still works out cheaper than our opponents. And I wouldn't say we have a better service. Game Pass is goated, but we have kind of a rival service, and I think it's good. And we get those free games every month. I think it's definitely worth that money. I don't mind this price increase, but I will 100% follow suit with you, Davey, with swapping it to Extra, just because I've not utilized the game trials. I've played a bit of the classics, but played a bit of Siphon Filter, played quite a lot of Ape Escape, but that's it. I actually haven't played any of the classics in a while, probably close to when the service came out, and I can't imagine myself going back. Extra really seems to be the one to go for. I feel like this price hike is just incentivizing people to not go for premium, which is weird. But I feel like everyone's going to switch to Extra, and I think that is the best option out of the three. And it's definitely what I'll be doing now that this price increase has come about. Now, Davey, moving across to yourself for the quick news. Give us your impression of something you would do in the bathroom.